If you guys are just joining, we're here to answer any of your questions that you may have about USC, BME, the ASBME club, or anything at all. Just feel free to type in the chat. We'll get it answered.
Yeah. Also, we have our emails up here on this front page. If you guys have any further questions, you can email us. Feel free to reach out on the ASBME Twitter or Instagram. We're all there. ASBME is our premier biomedical engineering student organization. It was founded in 1975, and we aim to meet all student needs, especially within the BME community. We want to offer the best possible opportunities to all students, and we work really closely with the biomedical engineering department in order to get our perspectives into the curriculum and into different things that the biomedical engineering department offers. We're also the student chapter of the Biomedical Engineering Society, which is just like the overall nationwide biomedical engineering professional organization. So we offer professional events. Here is a picture of two of our really big formal networking events. We have one in the fall and one in the spring. We have Fall Networking Night and our annual corporate dinner. That's a time that a bunch of corporate representatives from nearby biotech companies are able to come in and network really personally with our students. You're able to form these relationships with recruiters before going to the career fair and interviewing. All of those things really help put you at an advantage when it comes to the really competitive, recruiting season. We also get companies to come in and do info sessions, product demos, and are able to go to sites that are nearby to visit other biomedical engineering companies that have and see kind of what they do. There's also the annual BMES National Conference, which is in a different place each year, where it's just a huge gathering of biomedical engineers from different grad schools, from different tech companies, coming and sharing their research. So last year it was in Philadelphia, and this coming year it's in San Diego, and we're able to go and learn a lot about what's going on in the professional world.
All right, so I'm going to go over the academic aspect of our organization. So there's lots and lots of opportunities that we offer for you to get involved in the actual major itself. I'm sure a lot of you are interested in research, and lucky for you, USC is a really big research university, and you can get involved in research as early as your freshman year. And like, don't be daunted if you have no research experience whatsoever beforehand. I didn't either, and I was able to find a lab this year too, so it's definitely something that's very accessible and attainable to a lot of people. And ASBME plays a big role in being able to connect you to the labs that you want to be a part of. So in the beginning of the year, in the fall semester, we hold a biomed research symposium where different faculty and professors on campus will come in and talk about the research that they're working on. So you get to sit down, have dinner with them, talk to them about what they're working on, and you even get to, make connections, be able to ask them if they have any current openings or anything like that. So it's a really good first step to getting to know your PIs or principal investigators before you start like the cold emailing process and all that. So other aspects of our academic side of BME is the Makeathon. So this is our flagship event. It takes place in spring semester. It's called the Makeathon. So if you are aware of hackathons for CS majors and things like that, this is essentially the BME version of that, except with medical devices. So teams are given a prompt and then a 48-hour period to kind of, create a device that centers around this prompt. So this most recent year, our prompt was to create a stroke rehabilitation device. And past prompts you can see here are like prosthetic hand designs, assistive walking devices, and things like that. So we also bring in mentors and things like that to help you out with the design and fabrication process. So this year with our stroke rehabilitation prompt, we had occupational therapists come in, we had biomechanics professors come in, all that great stuff. And we also give you complete access to our fabrication labs on campus, our 3D printers, our laser cutters, all that great stuff. This is a really great way to get hands-on experience with actually building something. And even though it's not I'm going to put this on the market in like a year or something like that. It's just a great way to, get technical skills, work with other people in a team setting, and just have something cool to talk about. So another part of our organization is our mentorship program. So this is essentially like a big little program, but with BME students. We hold a lot of special events. So every mentoring pair will get a stipend at the beginning of the semester, and you can use that however you see fit to like go get dinner, go get ice cream, things like that. If you're able to get really honest advice from upperclassmen, so my mentor this year is also pre-med, and she was a really, really valuable resource to go to with any questions regarding like applying to medical schools, taking the MCAT, what classes to take advantage of at USC in order to, maximize my pre-med experience here on campus. And we also have a raffle where you can earn like more money and prizes to be able to like go out more with your mentor. So that's really cool. So yeah, it's just a really great bonding experience that connects you to people who are always going to be able to like have your back and give you the advice that, maybe like an administrator or an academic advisor won't be able to give you.
All right, so we also have a community branch of ASBME. Our goal is to make a difference in the local communities around USC, and the way we do this is by creating lesson plans, often that are biomedical engineering related or STEM related, and we go and we teach these at local elementary schools. So this entire outreach initiative is called Project in a Box, and it's really exciting. We get to work with kids who are around 1st through 3rd graders, and we go in and make things like you can see on the upper left here, like a prosthetic arm. We talk to them about our BME experience and also, I guess, future careers in STEM that often maybe they're not exposed to the idea of colleges, and especially us being able to have such a positive influence on them because we're so local. We try to do that by going to different classrooms, and often this is a little separate from ASBME, so we meet on our own to make these lesson plans, and we go and present it to these classrooms. But we have moved to like an online version of our Project in a Box, and we call it Project on a Screen, where we do these experiments. You can see this on the bottom right. We do them in person over video, and then we post them to YouTube so that kids from any elementary school and teachers can use them in their own like online classes. And then finally, we also have like the social branch of ASBME. Even though we're engineers, we do like to have fun. So we organize, as ASBME, we organize social outings with both ASBME members, students from other clubs, and students from other schools. We have had events in the past where we meet with UCLA's BMES chapter. And it's a good way for you to get to know people outside of like your friend group, especially getting to other BMEs and other people who honestly are going through the same experiences as you, whether or not they're like your year, they may be a couple years older than you, but we've all been through the same classes. So it's really nice to get to know these people outside of just a purely academic setting. So here are a couple of the events we've done, everything from like our annual night hike to like tailgates, and they're all really fun activities and a great way, like I said, to, in some ways, I guess, like network or get to know the people around you.
So that's pretty much all we have planned for you guys. If you guys want to stay in touch, follow us on Instagram, Facebook at ASBME USC. And then also feel free to ask any questions you guys may have about the BME program, about our club. We're here for you guys. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that.
I could start. My favorite part about being an ASBME is just being able to be around the people in my major and like in a non-school environment. Just being able to like get to know the people who are in my classes for the people that they are instead of the students that they are. It's a really great way to be able to like build those friendships, and you do your work together. That's what you end up doing, your work together, but it's good to be able to talk about things that aren't school.
I'm pretty much very, very similar. I'm also really thankful that like ASBME like exists, like that we have such an organization that, like Maddie said, like helps connect other BME students together. Not only like research and stuff like that and like research symposiums, but also like social events, just times for us to like kick back and have fun. I think it just really builds a strong community for BME. I get to see like a lot of my classmates a lot more, not only in the classroom, but also at ASBME events. So it's really cool to be able to see them there. And I think that's something that is really unique about the BME program at USC, is that we have such student orgs that are super dedicated to fostering a really, really nice community just for this major.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree with what Maddie and Winfield said. Like when you have a major that's, pretty challenging, such as BME, what's going to get you through is the people who are also going through it with you and who have the same shared experiences with you. At the same time, like, these people are like unique individuals. They all have their, you know, own aspects and personalities that like you definitely won't have. And so it's nice to see, like Maddie said, like the people that you're in school with as people and not just students who sit alongside you in like a lecture hall or something like that.
Yeah, I would just reiterate what everyone else said. I think that sometimes classes can get hard, and it's easy to like almost consider not at least just the difficulty of engineering and maybe wanting to be in a different major, because other kids sometimes it feels like they have it so much easier. But the thing that keeps me, at least in biomedical engineering, is just knowing that I'm doing it with people I really enjoy spending time with and people I'd want to continue working with, like in these 4 years and later as I move into industry.
Yeah, that's a great question, just because BME, like Sabrina said, it's really definitely academically rigorous. But I think one of the biggest things like that's different about high school and college is that in college you can like literally build your own schedule like just the way you want it. And when I really think about it, I only have maybe about 3 to 4 hours of class each day. And so if you like think about that, like 4 hours of class and then like, I don't know, 8 hours of sleep, that's like a whole like 10 to 12 hours of time that you have to like not only like do homework and work out, but you can also get involved in research or other clubs that you're interested in. USC has so many clubs. I know I'm doing like Spike Ball Club, like stuff like that. Like I spent a lot of time doing that my first semester. So there's definitely a way to balance all that, especially since you're on campus too. There's just also all that added time. There's no like you have to commute back home or anything. Like everything that you could want to do at USC is like right in front of you. And I think USC does a really good job of like having a lot of different clubs and organizations that like tailor to like everyone's interests.
So on campus, I'm also in Greek life and I'm a freshman academy coach, which so freshman academy is a class that you take your first semester and you kind of get to learn more about what's going on in the world of engineering and different kinds of engineering. And being part of ASBME actually is better for me, is like a way to kind of control my schedule because it introduces me to people in my classes. And so I'm able to like meet with them for study groups and kind of align my schedule based on ASBME meetings, like go to those, learn the things you need to learn, and then be able to go and do career things and do all of those things. I really think it builds you up as a student rather than like stretching you too thin. And then especially when it comes to academic responsibilities, like being an ASBME is one of the best academic decisions I could have ever made.
So on campus, I am also involved with Med Design, which is another Viterbi organization. So it's purely like a medical device design team. You get put on different teams based on like different need statements and stuff like that. And you and your team just are allowed to like brainstorm, think about different ways that you would want to fabricate a certain device, things like that. So most recently, I was on a team with one of my friends where we were thinking of creating like a neonatal like spinal tap device. We haven't really like actually fabricated yet, but we were able to like visit the LA County USC hospital and participate in rounds with excuse me, a pediatrician and neonatologist at the hospital. So that's super cool. I'm also involved in research. So I am working under Dr. Michael Koo in the cardiorespiratory sleep lab. I primarily do like computational modeling and stuff like that, involving pediatric patients with sickle cell anemia and sleep apnea. And next semester, I will be serving as an RA in university housing. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that you can get involved in at USC. I think my big advice is like, don't do it unless you like really want to do it and you're really passionate about it. But yeah, just pick what you're passionate about, and like when you do that and you realize what you're passionate about, you will make room in your schedule and you will find time for everything that you want to do.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, I also highly recommend looking into like USC's electives, like outside of your major, like get out of biomedical engineering. Don't dig yourself into a hole where you think all you can do is math and science. Like USC is a world-renowned university. Like that's part of the reason, that's actually like the main reason that I chose USC, is that I didn't want to go to a tech school. Like I didn't want to go to a school that only had engineers, because I wanted to be able to get like a well-rounded education. Yeah, like
They're super cool.
Go do something fun while you're at USC. Like, don't think that you have to limit yourself to just biomedical engineering classes. So I chose to come to USC because, like, the real reason is that I wanted to be in Los Angeles. Like, I'm from Chicago and now I'm home because of the COVID, and I miss Los Angeles so much. And it helped that USC is like a world-renowned school. Like I've already talked about, that engineering plus that you always hear all about is what ultimately made me decide to come here instead of go to another like good engineering school in the Midwest. I really just wanted to be able to be somewhere where I thought I was going to be the happiest. And when I did all my research, USC was the place that I wanted to be. And I'm still here now, so I proved myself right.
I know when I was looking for schools, I guess kind of on the idea of engineering class, I was really looking for an engineering school where I'd also be able to study abroad. That was kind of a priority for me. So like when I was looking, I'm from San Diego, so when I was looking at other like UCs and California schools, those are kind of also like high up on my list. I felt like they just didn't have like that sort of like, I guess, focus on not just being an engineer, but being more than that. I feel like especially at UCs or like I guess public schools, it can be like large and hard for you to like do a lot of things outside of your classes and be a person maybe outside of your classes, because I feel like there's a lot of focus on that in those bigger institutions. So I feel like coming to a smaller place like USC would allow me to explore a lot of things, especially like studying abroad, which was specific to me, but a lot of other things that I've been allowed to over my last 2 years, and I will continue to be able to. So I think that's like the sort of thing you don't really think about when you're choosing colleges. When you come here and you start taking classes, you realize how important it is to be able to do all of that as well.
I'll go next. Why I wanted to go to USC. I think for me, I really wanted a balance between like academics. I wanted like a strong academic program that was like hands-on. I also wanted a school that was big enough that could have like a lot of different clubs that I could choose from, and I can meet like so many great people from all over the world. And also like location, like I'm also from San Diego, so just having like that nice weather and being close to home is really nice. And also LA is just like right there. There's so much to do like on the weekends, like go to like the beach in Santa Monica or explore downtown. But it's a really dynamic campus. There's always something going on. Like even if you don't want to go off campus to like hang out, there's always something going on campus. Like I know we have like concerts on campus, just stuff like that. Football games are really big, basketball games. So just like a lot of school spirit. I think that's what really makes USC unique.
Basically everything that everyone said is a big part of the reason why I chose USC. So I'm actually local. I live like 10-ish miles away from campus. So USC has always been like a really big part of my life. And I, like everyone else, like I wanted a campus where, you know, there was always stuff going on, but at the same time, like not a campus that was so big that I felt like I was being completely swallowed up by the school itself. I also really like the Trojan network is a real thing, people. The Trojan family is a real thing. So like the connections that you make at USC are going to be like things that help you get hired in the future. They're going to be people that you're going to like stay in touch with throughout, your time in school and your time out of school. So like I know particularly in BME, like the upperclassmen who you interact with like in ASBME or who are your mentors and things like that, like go on to become like campus recruiters and stuff like that who come back during job fairs. Maddie's the Abbott campus ambassador. So like if you're looking to get hired by Abbott, Maddie's the person who you're going to be talking to at a career fair. It's just really great to be able to know these people on a personal level and then like be able to work with them in the future, which I think is super cool. I also think another reason why I love USC too is there's a really big like work hard, play hard mentality. Like it's not like in order to be successful and, you know, academically inclined, like that doesn't mean that you have to stay holed up in your like dorm room and be studying like 24 hours a day. Like you can go out, you can go to a tailgate during football season, you can come back the next Sunday and get all your work done and still have like a super awesome GPA. And there are so many people on campus who have that. It's just a really great place where you're able to like just pursue everything that you want to, and everything that like you should during like your college years.
Yeah, it's also a very collaborative environment. Like people aren't fighting for the GPA. You hear a lot about that in upper, like higher tier education, is that it's super competitive and you're like competing with your classmates. But at least in the BME department and in Viterbi in general, everyone wants to see each other succeed. So you're not like trying to shaft your peers and to get the A. There's a lot of team projects and you have to work together. And then even when it's not a team project, you are studying together, you're learning together, all of that kind of stuff. Oh, and I also like totally agree with Sabrina's point about your upperclassmen mentors. So my mentor from my freshman year, my sophomore year, she was the president of ASBME and she was also the Abbott campus ambassador. I talked to her at the career fair. I got the job and now I am the campus ambassador. Like it's ASBME brought me that opportunity. Like I would not have been as comfortable as I was talking to recruiters without knowing them personally, and it just being able to build that network while you're at school that will extend to into your career on and on and on is just an amazing thing to do.